am I the only one that didn't know the dark secret behind Riverton's beloved Mayor Thomas Green? It seems like everyone in this small town was blindsided by the revelations that were about to come to light. For years, we all believed in the image of a dedicated public servant, a man who was supposed to be the epitome of integrity and commitment to the community. But as it turns out, appearances can be deceiving. This is gonna blow your mind. The story of Mayor Green is not just a tale of political corruption, it's a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the importance of vigilance in our communities. Mayor Green was the darling of Riverton, charismatic, full of promises, and always ready with a smile. He had a way of making people feel heard and valued, a skill that won him the trust and admiration of many. His speeches were filled with hope and vision, painting a picture of a brighter future for Riverton. But behind that charm, there was a different story unfolding, a story that was hidden from the public eye, masked by the mayor's seemingly genuine concern for the town's welfare. A web of corruption. Green was pocketing bribes from local developers, allowing unsafe construction projects to spring up like weeds. These weren't just minor infractions. They were serious breaches of trust that compromised the safety and well-being of Riverton's residents. Green was pocketing bribes from local developers, allowing unsafe construction projects to spring up like weeds. These projects were not just eyesores. They were ticking time bombs, endangering the lives of those who lived and worked in their shadows. Projects that put lives at risk. Buildings that were supposed to be safe havens turned into potential death traps. The very fabric of the community was being torn apart by greed and negligence. The townsfolk, they started noticing the accidents. Small incidents at first, but they began to add up. A collapsed scaffold here, a fire hazard there. It was only a matter of time before the whispers began to grow louder. The whispers began. People started to question the integrity of the projects and the man behind them. The once unshakable trust in Mayor Green began to waver. Enter Clara Bennett, a tenacious journalist with a nose for the truth. Clara was not one to be easily swayed by charm or rhetoric. She had a reputation for digging deep and uncovering the stories that others wanted to keep hidden. A tenacious journalist with a nose for the truth, Clara had always been passionate about her work, driven by a desire to hold those in power accountable. She knew that something was amiss in Riverton, and she was determined to get to the bottom of it. She dug deep, uncovering shady land deals, manipulated contracts, and falsified safety reports. Her investigation was meticulous, leaving no stone unturned. She pored over documents, interviewed sources, and connected the dots that others had missed. Her investigation was a ticking time bomb of its own. The more she uncovered, the more dangerous the situation became. Clara knew that she was onto something big, something that could change the course of Riverton's history. When Clara's exposé hit the news, Riverton was rocked to its core. Protests erupted, people demanded transparency. The town that had once been united in its support for Mayor Green was now united in its outrage. The weight of the truth was undeniable. The evidence was overwhelming, and the people of Riverton could no longer turn a blind eye to the corruption that had infiltrated their community. And finally, Mayor Green was arrested. The man who had once been the symbol of hope and progress was now a symbol of betrayal and greed. His arrest was a turning point for Riverton, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. Riverton was left to pick up the pieces. The town had been shaken to its core, but it was not broken. The people of Riverton were determined to rebuild, to restore the trust that had been shattered, to rebuild trust and safety. The community came together, working tirelessly to ensure that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated. New safety measures were put in place, and a renewed sense of vigilance took hold. Clara's relentless pursuit of the truth brought a community together and reminded everyone of the power of journalism. Her work was celebrated, and she became a symbol of integrity and courage. That good governance demands accountability. So remember, it's not just about the promises made, but the integrity behind them. The story of Mayor Green serves as a powerful reminder that we must always be vigilant, always question, and always hold our leaders accountable. It's not just about the promises made, but the integrity behind them. In the end, the true measure of a leader is not in their words, but in their actions. And it is up to us, the people, to ensure that those actions are always in the best interest of the community.